I'd say about this is I'm glad that migrants are being included in the sort of government's purview about who the villains are in this migrant crisis saga. Because the expedient, easy thing for politicians to say, and listen to how many times they're evil people smugglers. We've got to arrest the people smugglers. If we get rid of the people smugglers, the whole problem will be over. Well, first of all, it won't, because it's like whack-a-mole. You get rid of a bunch of people smugglers, more will crop up because it's supply and demand. But I've always said, what about the migrants? They too are breaking our laws.
Exactly. They know what they're doing when they pay all this money to come into the country illegally. They come here and they want to bring other members of family and send money home. Few of them are fleeing war and persecution. An interesting sort of little segue here, but interesting report out today from RUSI, the Foreign Affairs think tank, basically talking about Wagner in Africa and helping to do things like, guess what? Move a load of migrants to Europe.
Yeah, exactly. So, these migrants, they're breaking our laws as well. And it's our attitude. Oh, it's all evil people smugglers. These migrants are manipulated people. No, they're not. They're handing over £10,000, £5,000 to go across. They're breaking the law almost as much as the people smugglers. And it's this attitude. It's not the migrants, it's the people smugglers. That's why we go so easy on asylum seekers. See what I mean?
This next story had me absolutely flabbergasted. This is the thing is London City Airport. Which apparently only checks 21% of flights, private jets this are, for passports and just whether you can come into the country or not. Now you might think, oh well, you know, it's not tow wags on Ryanair, who cares? But the point is about these private jets, they were coming from places like, I don't know, Russia, the Middle East. And you know who has a lot of money? Terrorist organisations. The turnover of Hamas is in billions. I mean, they've got more personal wealth than the whole of Gaza put together. And there we are, just allowing random private jets to come with, I don't know, oligarchs, ISIS, you name it. Just wander into the country.
Think about that. Think about that. Pretty much 80% of these private jets flying into City Airport, which is to the east of London, it's quite near Talk TV Towers, are not checked. So anyone or anything could be coming in on these 80% of private jets that come into City Airport. And this is a real scandal. It's all over the front page of the Daily Mail today, quite rightly. Another example of our porous borders. They are like a sieve. They really are.
Oh, yeah, let's not bother checking passports or visas. Everyone, come one, come all. I mean, it's
no
ridiculous.
Problem. Guess who highlighted this scandal? It was a guy called David Neal, and he's the Chief Inspector of Borders and Immigration. In other words, he's the sort of watchdog who has presided over looking at the things we're doing wrong in the migrant crisis. And he pointed this out. He said, look, 80% of the private jets, it's not just City Airport, by the way. Private jets are a good way to get into the country without being checked at all. So make of that what you will. Anyway, so David Neal, quite rightly, doing his job, immigration watchdog, borders watchdog, raised this, and guess what's happened? He's been sacked, basically. They're not going to renew his tenure in this important position, and quite clearly that's because David Neal, to his credit, raises awkward questions for the government, who have not got a grip on this migrant crisis whatsoever.
I mean, it's just mad, isn't it, that apparently his entire role, the Chief Inspector of Borders and Immigration, might just be left vacant while the Rwanda scheme is introduced. We don't need one of them, do we? Who needs a Chief Inspector of Borders and Immigration in the United Kingdom?
We haven't got any problems with our borders. Why waste money on it?
You don't have any. You can't have problems with something you don't have.